Hey guys, here we are for round 3. Hand looks just fine. Let's find out what we're up against. Let's see here. Okay, so it looks like basic Delver Blade. Let's just double check to make sure it's not Esper Delver. And he is running Midnight Haunting, so I believe it is Esper Delver. Okay. Let's keep mulligan down to 5. It's good news for us. And hopefully we'll have our gut shot ready for his Delver, or Mortar Pod, that is. So I mean, here we're just happy to drop down Paladin and start bashing. So at this point, I think we just drop Mortar Pod, start drawing cards. We could also just drop Collar to see if we can maybe have like Snapcast or Gut Shot shenanigans. But I think I'd rather drop the Mortar Pod. Well, I'm going to drop Collar, because if he has the counter, we can still get another one and still set up the combo. I think we're going to go for Collar first here. So he does have the counter, which is fine. Now, I mean, we could have attacked first with Gut Shot backup. So that probably would have been a little bit better to attack first, see if he wants to throw a Snapcaster at our Puresteel, and then been able to get the Collar. That actually would probably have been a better play there, knowing that we have Gut Shot backup. Otherwise, you'd want to try to smoke out the counter spell so you can safely attack. Okay. So once again here, I think that is going to be our play. We're going to go ahead and bash in. Well, yeah, we're going to bash in first, see what he does, and then Gut Shot if we have to. So there's the Snapcaster, or Midnight Haunting. Either one is fine. So now the beautiful thing is we can actually Gut Shot, get them both, and Snapcaster, make our guy bigger. This is going to be quite a nice play here for us. That really ended up working out pretty well for us. We'll just bash in for 5, get up to 9, put ourselves in a pretty good spot. It's like now we have to assume he's just going to go like Lingering Souls or possibly Frog Skull Captain. Honor the Pure. Interesting. Not expecting that. I mean, I could maybe say like Intangible Virtue, but well, I guess if he wants to do both. So like I think at this point, like we could drop Trinket Mage, buff up our champion. I think I still want to keep Paladin alive. I think if we drop Mortar Pod here. So otherwise, let's see, we drop champion. I think Mortar Pod's a little bit better because this way it allows us to replay champion if he has Vapor Snag. And if he counters it, we just take 7. Okay, that's fine. So like here, unless he has Wrath, we're in a pretty good spot. And that's it. Okay. So Esper Delver with Honor the Pure. I guess against this deck we definitely want War and Peace. Not sure if we are going to see Geist. I mean, we want to be ready for Geist if he plays it, so just because this is an unusual Esper Delver list, we might keep in Metamorph anyways, just to kind of hedge. Definitely bringing in Metal Misstep. Snag is a little bit better against the Esper Delver variant, but I think we are going to need to assume that he's going to be running Lingering Souls. So that means we want to be going for Grafdigger's Cane. So we're going to be cutting Snapcaster, cutting Parasite. I want to bring in Spellskite. Let's see here. I think we shave 2 Snag, shave 2 Collar, and a Trinket Mage. No, we'll do Trinket Mages for the Grafdiggers, never mind. I guess we can cut Metamorph here. And this hand is just fine. I think we just go Fortress here, and then Paladin next turn, provided he doesn't have counter backup. Yeah, I think if he leaves mana up, we're just going to go into Gather. So we don't want to lose Paladin here. Yeah. Well, I mean, we need to play Gather anyways, because we can't play the Glacial Fortress. So we just lead out with Gather. Now we assume he's going to go either Midnight Haunting or Lingering Souls. Or Geist. Ugh. This is a strange build, yeah. So unfortunately we didn't keep in the Metamorphs. Alright, so now I think we just drop down Sword. Let's see. If we drop Paladin, we can probably trade with Geist. But I think dropping Sword is just going to be better, just allowing us to race. Problem is now we kind of open ourselves up and then we can get blown out if we try to equip these Vapor Snags to token. Or you can just do that. That works. So that means he does not have Vapor Snag, which we're very happy to hear. I think now we just want to go Paladin and then the Snag back up. Since he's running Geist, he might also be running... This could be just like a blue-white version without Lingering Souls. It's possible. It's like Midnight Haunting, Honor the Pure. He might be running Sword. We could really see almost anything at this point. I think especially because he's running Geist, we have to assume he has the ability to cast Sword. Okay, so now we have Vapor Snag to protect our Paladin. And now we have Snag back up. This could be like Dungeon Geists, maybe? Or Hero. Yikes. Okay, Hero's a little bit rough around the edges. This is probably just like a blue-white straight variant. So Grafdigger's Cage is probably not good against this deck at all. Okay, we can either counter that or gut shot it. I think that we want to counter it because... let's see. So we need gut shot to take care of Hero. Otherwise we gut shot it and then stop potential like Snag shenanigans. Oof. I think we misstepped that. Alright, so now we drop Paladin and start summon the combo. So I guess since we have Snag back up, we're just going to be equipping the collar onto a human token. It's like this way we can double block and then gut shot and keep our paladins active. Okay, Snapcaster for Revoke, yuck. Fortunately, not much we can do about that. Ooh, he's going for Ponder. That's good news there. We are definitely countering that. Okay, so now Spellscape definitely helps us get closer to Metalcraft. What is the play here? I think we just sit. Basically, it's whether or not we can get Metalcraft, or maybe get a sword in play. we just sit. Kind of a stalemate until we can draw something here. But any one of our equipment should really put us over the top. I guess here we just trade human for the Geist. So he must have drawn another Geist. Like, we could have gushed out of the token there, but I think we want to save it in case we get, like, War and Peace, then we can get rid of the Snapcaster, so we can get through. I mean, we could get through to the Spirit token anyway, so maybe that would have been better. It's kind of hard to know. Like here, we just go ahead and start bashing in the air a little bit. I suppose we can trade Spirit for Spirit. We also want to save Gutshot in case he gets an Ethereal. Okay, so now I think we just want to put it back on the human token. I think we just set. Double hero blade hold. Good God. Okay, so next turn's gonna be pretty rough. Not gonna lie. We need to go off right now. Let's see. Do we want Merlin Haunt up? Potentially. I think we are not gonna have enough mana. Well, since we do this, we get one. Okay, I think we Trinket Mage here. Okay, so we don't have Mortarpod yet. Life Staff. Not gonna save us. And it's definitely gonna help, but I think we need to go for the combo. Pick up Collar. There's Sword. Okay, that's our money card. Exactly what we needed. So he has the mana leak, we're in trouble, but we have to assume he doesn't. Okay, so now we use Gutshot to take care of Snapcaster. No, actually we don't, never mind. We put everything on Sword, or put everything on the Spirit. see, if we bash into the other guys too, does that help? I don't think so. I think we just bash into Spirit and then gain as much life as we can. Try to stabilize. Okay, definitely going to be redirecting that with Spellskite. Alright, so now we want to move Collar. Just kind of maximize our chances. Put a Collar there, put a Collar probably on Trinket Mage. I think what is set. So he attacks everybody, he makes 4 extra guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the extra 4 guys are all going to be 3, 6, 9, 12. We're going to stabilize at 4, looks like. Unless if he drew something well, then that could just be it. Ugh, yuck, not Vapor Snag, not now. That might be it. So he attacks everybody. Did we just die? I think we might just die here. Let's see, we make 4 extra guys, we can block. So 3, 6, no, if we gut shot, we go to 1. I think we stabilize at 1. No, we don't, because the token was dead. Never mind. I think unfortunately we are just dead here. Let's see, block there. There, up there, up there. Three, 6, 9, 12, 15. No, wait a second here. Oh, and the 19. So we take this out. Yeah, we're still dead. Okay. Alright, since we know he has Hero, Blade Hold, definitely need Oblivion Ring. We need Metamorph for his Geists. Vapor Snag is much better now, especially since he has Hero. We don't care about Grafdigger's Cage anymore. Life Staff is still good, but we may just want the combo, just a straight combo. Let's see. So we're at 64. What do we cut? We shave a collar and a trinket mage. Brings it down to 62. Snag is still really good here. Wow. Gutshot is still great against Delver, it's still good against Champion. Man, there are just so many cards that we don't have room for. Vapor Snag is a little better just because he has Hero. I think it might be a little bit better than... Gut Shot is still amazing though, especially Champion. Ugh. I think maybe we shave a Trinket Mage. Probably a Spellskite. Okay. This hand is okay. I mean, like, we don't have enough mana. If we draw into mana, we're fine, but I think we need to mulligan here. This hand is much better. Yeah, double hero is pretty rough. So now we just go like Champion into Gather, hopefully into Sword. Knowing we have Sword here, it might be a little bit better for us to go Champion into Puresteel. Just so we can get Puresteel on the table. Fortunately, one turn slow on the misstep. Do we just want to gather and beat down? I think we still want Puresteel here. Well, let's see. Puresteel loses this to Snapcaster, so if you like leave Snapcaster up next turn, we're less likely to attack Puresteel. It's still good though, I think, just to put Puresteel here. Yeah, I think we put Puresteel. Because like this way, if he doesn't flip, then he can't attack and get value. Not that he would anyways. I'm not sure which is the better play here, Gather or Puresteel. We definitely counter Ponder if he plays it. So he's probably just sitting on Mana Leak, I think. So like we can try to smoke it out with Collar. I think whatever we play gets leaked is the problem. Or does he probably just Vapor Snags? I think probably... You're probably sitting on Leak. I think it's still worth playing into it though, just because it gives us a few more options. Like if you don't play it, then he just drops. I guess I kind of like Collar a little bit more because it sets up the War and Peace next turn. I think we bash first and see what he does. Then we still lose Paladin. I think we play into Leak here. Try to bait it out with Collar. Happy to misstep that. Oh man, we should have paid it for life and should have been able to play the Champion. That was foolish. So paying the 2 mana there was kind of foolish. Especially since he was a little bit short-handed here. It's kind of hard to know, but I think keeping the options open, especially since I have so many 1-drops, would have been better there to pay the 2 life for misstep to get a bigger play. That was probably a misplay for sure. O-ring on Paladin, so then we just hopefully draw the land and go champion into Gather. Could just drop champion here, but that seems kind of weak. I think it's just better to Gather at this point. Would have been much better if we had the champion play a turn earlier, and then we'd be bashing in for 7 here. So those tiny little mistakes really, really, really matter. So now we just go champion, champion. He probably goes Mana Leak or Snapcaster into Snag or Midnight Haunting. I guess that works. And we're already so far behind because of that one misplay with the metal misstep. So in going from basically just winning to being on even ground. Now if he has Snapcaster for Snag, or if he has well, or just Mana Leak. So if we could just Trinket Mage here, I think it's better to just drop down War and Peace though, because if we can get it to connect, since we have Snag back up. Okay, so he's going to Snapcaster into Snag. Problem is, like, now if he doesn't block, we drop to 5. Like here we just hope that he doesn't have another Snapcaster or another Snag. Just hope we can connect. And I guess he has the War and Peace for the Revoke to get there. Ugh, yuck, yuck. Okay, so we have no choice here but to Trinket Mage. Take 3 in the air, go to 4. Oops. And then hope to be able to O-ring that thing next turn. Nope, never mind, we just lose. Shit. No, that's a misplay. Whoops, we just lost there, because we O-ring this, then we chump, and then we go to 3, and then we still lose. So we went from winning to losing because of the misplay with the metal misstep. Okay. So unless, like, basically attack, and if he doesn't block, it's over. Like, that's how quickly you can go from winning to losing from one seemingly small misplay. And that's the game. Okay, so now we're 1 and 2, and unfortunately that knocks us out. So, kind of looking over the deck here, what worked, what didn't work. I think we're kind of finding that we almost have too many cards against Delver, and maybe not enough against like Wolf Run. I think one potential nice change we could look at making is possibly incorporating Mana Leak into the mix. I think it's going to be a change we're going to look at because, you know, having the 3 gut shot main, I think might be a little bit excessive. I mean, it's nice with Mortar Pride, which allows us to maybe take down like Huntmaster game 1, you know, between gut shot and Snapcaster, or between the gut shot and Mortar Pod. But, you know, at the same time, is there a better fit? Do we want to bring Ponder back into the mix? Do we want to try to, you know, bring Mana Leak into the board? So kind of interesting questions. And I think that, you know, kind of making us more viable against Wolf Run is important because over the last 4-round daily yesterday, of the 4 decks that went 4-0, 2 of them were Wolf Run. One was Solar Flare, and one was green-white township tokens. So, you know, Wolf Run is still a major player, and I think we need to really adjust for that. So, you know, since Vapor Snag is still quite useful in the Delver matchup, now admittedly it's much less useful against Delver Blade just because they have less targetable creatures. But I mean, against Esper Delver, it's quite good actually. So I think that, you know, we either need to bring back in Ponder, maybe shuffle around Gut Shot a little bit, you know, or we can look at kind of bringing in Mana Leak into the mix. So I think that I really do like the 4 Mental Misstep. I mean, they're so good against Delver. Like, we definitely want them against Delver because they answer so many of the problem cards. War and Peace, I think, is also, we want to keep that as a 4-up because it's one of the best forms of game that we have against, like, Solar Flare as an example. Now, one thing that we could do is we could look at taking, you know, maybe like 1 War and Peace out, maybe shaving, possibly like a Misstep, you know, bringing in some room for maybe Mana Leak or Negate possibly. Negate is nice, but I think that, you know, because we're a little bit of a faster deck, you know, more aggressive, I think that Mana Leak does everything that Negate does for us and more. You know, in a more control matchup, they have time to fully develop their land to be able to, you know, play around Mana Leak. But, you know, against our deck, they really won't have that opportunity. So I think that we're going to get more value out of Mana Leak than Negate. You know, so maybe we want to shave like 2 of these here, bring in like Mana Leak into the board, and do we want Ponder back in? You know, one other potential option we could look at is like shaving a Gut Shot, you know, maybe taking out Parasite as a main target, you know, in Life Staff, and having those as like sideboard tutor targets. You know, I think having the Grafdigger's main is pretty important because it you know, literally just turns off the Fright Stack, it turns off any form of pod. It's great against Solar Flare. You know, it's probably what we're going for game 1. So I think that having that main, you know, there's credence for that. Hex Parasite is nice against, like, you know, any of the decks that use recurring Ratchet Bomb shenanigans. You know, it's very good against Solar Flare also, so it might be worth keeping Hex Parasite in main, and then, you know, kind of the reason for Life Staff was, you know, largely the zombie matchup. But I mean, the thing is, in the zombie matchup, you're going for Grafdigger's Cage first anyways. You know, so maybe that's more of a board card. And then if we make room in the main board, Maybe the change is going to be adding possibly either in Ponder to sort of help set up the combo more quickly, or maybe just bring in leak. So like if we bring in, like, say for instance, if we bring like 3 leak, we can maybe cut the leaks in the board, probably just take out the extraneous gut shot, have these as tutor targets. Maybe this is sort of a cleaner board. But anyways, leave your thoughts, and we will look at seeing you next time.